Switching! Fire! Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review. This time I'll be reviewing the Henshin Juu GabuRevolver from Jyuden Sentai Kyoryuger. So with the new year comes a new Super Sentai series, and this is the changer for that team, which consists of Kyoryu Red, Black, Blue, Green, and Pink, being the first time that that color combination has been used for a main 5 team. So this is the third time that dinosaurs have been used as a theme in Super Sentai, the past 2 times being 1992's Kyoryu Sentai Zyuranger and 2004's Bakuryu Sentai Abaranger, which some American viewers might know by their adaptations, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Power Rangers Dino Thunder. So this includes 3 things: the GabuRevolver itself, and 2 Judenchis, which are this year's gimmick. So we'll start by taking a look at the gun itself. Then mostly in yellow and black. You can see that it's designed after a dinosaur head, with green eyes on either side, some nice silver teeth, and gun barrels as rather enlarged nostrils. You'll see some striping in different places. A lot of nice details added in. Some gray and silver added for effect, as well as a little bit of red paint in different places. You also got this clear plastic cylinder with black stripe painted along it. And this cylinder is part of the main gimmick. Going to the front, you'll see a couple of slots here, which are for the Judenchi. You have the speaker here, the trigger's right here, and here's a release lever that'll come into play once we start showing off what it does, with the on-off switch right back here. You also have a couple of release buttons here and on the other side, which will come into play a bit later, not in this review itself. So next you have the Judenchi. These are special batteries that give the Kyoryugers their powers, and they're what they use to transform and do special attacks. So it comes with 2, Judenchi 1, Gabutira, and Judenchi 14, Zimero. So we'll take a look at number 1 first. This is Kyoryu Red's personal Judenchi that uses it to transform. So you can see that the basic design is quite like a battery. You've got the plus and minus on it, as well as how one side has this nub on top and the other one is flat. You also have this design of a dinosaur mouth with an eye and some spikes on it. Have number 1, and on the other side you have this little panel, which is Kyoryu Red's symbol and the symbol of Gabutira. On the back you have the name Gabutira written in English, and inside here you can see a kind of white outline of a Tyrannosaurus. And so, just like the past 2 dinosaur Sentais, Red has a Tyrannosaurus, which is arguably the most popular and most well-known dinosaur in the world, with a big head and big body overall, but rather small arms. So, besides being a gimmick, each Judenchi has a special gimmick where there's a button here on the top, and if you press it, it'll flip the image around. So now you have a colored version of the image on the other side. Got a red T-Rex here, with kind of a some pro feathers on the top, yellow jaw, and some black detail on the kind of black stripes on the back, black pattern. And it's on this nice glittery foil sticker. Another thing is that the other side is actually glow in the dark. It's not exactly something I can show off too well, but you'll just have to trust me on that. That it actually is glow in the dark, and for all of them, this side is glow in the dark. They also have these pins, which will tell stuff like the GabuRevolver, which battery it is. So second is number 14, Steam Arrow. This one has a magenta color to it, with number 14, and the Styracosaurus image here, as well as a Styracosaurus on the inside. Once again, you have the name written on the back, and you can flip it around to show a colored image of that dinosaur. The Styracosaurus is a dinosaur similar to the Triceratops, but only has one horn in its head, while it has various spikes coming out from its neck frill. And you might be wondering why this comes with number 1 and then goes straight to number 14. Well, that's because Judenchi 1 through 13 have special purposes. To be specific, what's been revealed is that there are 23 different Judenchi known thus far. Now, 1 through 10 are used by the Kyoryuger and are for their mechs called Judenryu, while 11 through 23 are basically used for special items or for special attacks. So excuse me. So switching on, you'll get a light from here and an on sound. You've got that, and you can see the lights are in the cylinder itself. So pulling the trigger, you'll get a shooting sound. And as you can hear, it is a blasting sound with a dinosaur roar added on to the end. And while it's just like this, that's the only sound you can get. Pulling down the trigger won't make any special sound. So, the way the gimmick works is that you have this tail here, which will open up the mouth like so. It opens up both of the slots. So in the show, the batteries start out with like this. And to transform, the Kyoryuger press the button and brave in, which is to put in the energy source for these batteries, which is called brave. So then you take the battery and place it into this bomb slot here, like so. And that sound means that it knows that battery's been put in. Then you hold down this release lever and push down on the top to close it. So it says Gabrincho, which is a phrase for biting. and it says the name of the battery that you put in. So here it says Abaranger GabuRevolver. So then you just spin the cylinder and they'll start the transformation sequence. Then pull the trigger. And that's the transformation. So of note is that little tune that was playing after I spun the cylinder was a little bit of samba music, which is something specific because this year there are two themes, dinosaurs and samba, a popular style of music and dance in South America, especially places like Brazil. So after transforming, the normal gun sound remains the same, but you need a special attack sound by spinning the barrel again. And you have a different sound here. So there it said "vamos," which is a Portuguese word meaning, basically meaning "let's go." And it also said a sound based on the battery that was put in, and it kind of a special attack noise. And what sound it makes here is basically one part of the name, as the names for the Judenchi and Jyuden are part dinosaur and usually part sound effect. So for GabuRevolver it says gaboon, which is a sound effect form of gaburimas, which means to bite or to chomp. So by opening up the mouth again, you can take a second battery and put it into the top slot, like so. Then close it back down. And this time it adds on Cimero after GabuRevolver. Then spin the cylinder again. And fire. This time it says "vamos la mucho." And mucho means more or many. And so after that, what you can do is open it up and close it back down to get another sound, like so. This time it says "mecha mucho," and mecha is another word, this one being Japanese, that is also kind of for very much. So we can do that. What you can do now is you can spin the cylinder. Although what the cure usually do in the show is that after doing that, they roll the gun down their arm like so. Then pull the trigger. And this lets the cure users armed on, which equips them with silver armor on their right arm and gives them their individual weapons. And the other thing is that, of course, using GabuRevolver and Cimero, it added Cimero's special sound. It said Meroron, which comes from the sound effect mero mero, which means to be in love. And so what the Stimero battery does when added to another one is that it sends out a kind of a perfume that causes the enemies to become infatuated. So just one thing to note, is that each sound effect has two intonations, and you only get the second intonation if you have two batteries inserted. Basically, you have a low intonation and a high intonation. And so the low tone will be the bomb battery, and the high tone, which is the same one as if you just have one battery in, is the top battery. So what you can do is switch the two around and get a different sound combination. As you can see, the sounds were different from when I had Gabuchiro on the bottom and Stimero on the top. And this applies to any Judenchi combination that you can use. So to eject, you have these two levers, and you'll notice details on each side where you've got these two different sections. One is filled in, one has an X on it. And the one that's filled in is which slot will eject. So this is the eject switch for the bomb slot, and this is for the top. You just eject out like so. And so when you close it with no batteries, you get this sound. Also note is, another couple of other things to note is R1, that you can, if you press this trigger while it's open like this, no sounds will be made. And second is that if you just put a battery into the top slot, nothing happens. It'll only make different sounds if you have at least a battery in the bottom slot. As well as of note is that if you put in two batteries at once, like so, it automatically skips to the special attack sound, or the Jyuden Brave finish. And so that's it for the GabuRevolver on its own. But with 23 known Judenchi, obviously there are a lot more sounds to come, and you'll be seeing quite a bit of this throughout the year. So overall, this is a great toy. It's got cool design, got great functionality. The Judenchi are pretty cool, and it's rather cool how you have two sides. One is this glittery sticker, and the other one that's glow in the dark. It's also really cool how you have the two different intonations, which means you can get all kinds of different sound combinations using 2 batteries at a time. Me personally, I'm a little bit biased because I have an affinity for dinosaurs. I just think they're really cool, and my favorite season of Power Rangers is Dino Thunder, personally. And so, as you'll be seeing later on, this year they did do some stuff They do some pretty creative stuff with dinosaurs, which is nice to see. Since, of course, like I said, this is the 3rd time dinosaurs have been used as the motif for a Sentai series. So, if you're a fan of Kyoryuger, obviously I think that this is extremely well recommended, and it should probably be one of the first things you get, because this can use all of the Judenchi. And it starts off with a couple. So, overall this is a fun, well-designed toy. And, of course, with more Judenchi, this thing will become even more fun because of all the different styles you can get out of it. So, once again, highly recommended. Thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my channel for more videos. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.